this is the question I asked. I asked John Lynch, what's up with Trey Lance? Why hasn't he signed yet? Zach Wilson hasn't signed either. What is your interpretation?
There's a couple of things that play into this. One of them is the offset language on the contract. That's number one. And the second is the percentage of the guaranteed money that they're going to be getting up front. Those are the two things. And you go back and, Joey Bosa had the same deal when he was
right.
Going to
with the Chargers.
San Diego. Yeah, with the Chargers. And it's exactly the same thing here. You're in California, in New York. You mentioned this earlier. So it makes sense to try to get as much of that money up front as possible. And that offset language is important too, because if something happens, who knows? We expect him to be here throughout his contract, as first 4 years. But what happens if he just totally bombs and they want to move on? And if you don't have that offset language, he's going to be stuck with that. So that's
true.
Part of it.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. It also seems to me like it's a California, New York thing. I'm not surprised what's going on with Zach Wilson with the Jets too, because I bet their agents are looking at it and thinking, man, there's a possibility that Kyle Pitts in Georgia, Penei Sewell in Detroit, whoever went fifth, the guy in Cincinnati, Jamar Chase, they could end up actually pocketing more money after taxes than my client, and I'll look bad because they're in states that tax less or not at all. That's possible. So maybe they're trying to work that out. And the fact that John Lynch said, we've never had a holdout, the fact that he used the word holdout made me think that there's a little apprehension. Still, I think my prediction is he'll sign like 10 minutes before training camp starts tomorrow. So if training camp starts at 10:17, he'll sign at 10:07.
Just in time to.
But if he doesn't, damn, that's what a curveball this offseason. Whoa, a holdout.
Yeah.
From the guy you just traded all your first round picks for. That would be do it, Trey.
Yeah, they need to get something.
See how that goes.
For I think I saw something today too where the discussion was part of the reason with Wilson is he's trying to get like the same percentage of that Sam Darnold got when he joined New York, and so that's part of what it is. So but it all goes back to that same discussion of that percentage of guaranteed money that they're getting to start the.
Marco says Trey will show up to practice if unsigned, book it. Well, he did do that in OTAs. And, if you don't go, if you hold out, they fine you $50,000 a day and you can't get it back. It used to be they'd fine you $40,000 a day. And then when you made up and came back, they'd basically give you a little bonus or basically give the money back. Like, hey, let's start over. But they can't do that anymore. It's against the collective bargaining rules. So you see less. Does anyone hold out anymore in training camp? I haven't seen it.
What you see is you see guys missing
OTAs.
You see guys starting the beginning of camp for this reason. It's not really necessarily a holdout, but it usually takes a couple of days maybe.
Sure.
Can they practice if they don't have a contract? I know they can practice during OTAs, but once training camp hits, does that?
That's a good question. That is a good question. I don't know. And I should know because I cover this sport for a living, but I don't know. So I'll get back to you on that.